Hey friends, pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life. Well, I believe in transparency, being an open book. I believe in accountability, especially on the part of leaders who make a commitment to serve and who ask the support of folks like you. That's why I bring you my daily diary. I want you to know what I did from morning to night, so you always see and have a record, and the public has a record. And I love doing what I'm doing. I know that you love being involved in this great movement as well. So what did I do from Thursday, November 16th to Sunday, the 19th of November, 2023? So Thursday, November 16th, let's see, up early in the morning here at my office. I had to prepare for our monthly statement, get data and text ready for that, did some work on our studio procedures, on the section of our website called What Are We Doing? That's a regular accounting of what different departments do. Communication with Father David Begany, one of our priests on the team here. Communication with our media firm. Working on email blasts going out. Working on state initiatives, various state battles for pro-life. All this work being done from my desk. Radio spots being prepared. Data for the Silent No More campaign being upgraded, interview invitations being accepted and worked out, and looking at sign-ups for the prayer pledge for Bishop Strickland, standwithbishopstrickland.org, and morning staff briefing as usual, connecting with different members of the staff. And then at 10 o'clock, meeting with our correspondence associate, Mary. She does the answering of emails and phone calls that come in. More work at my desk and with various staff up until noon, at which time I left in my car to drive down to Mar-a-Lago and went first to the hotel. While I was on the way, I was listening to some podcasts and then had a 1 o'clock call with a pro-life leader in Ohio, and we were assessing the situation there. Then I had a 2 o'clock call with Father David Begany and our Executive Director Janet, talking about Father David's work for us here at Priests for Life. We're glad to have him on the team. It was right around then that I was arriving and checking into my hotel. Got to the room, checked in a little bit with staff, and then at 3 o'clock for an hour was doing a live Zoom interview with, a Skype interview I should say, with Dr. Taylor Marshall. You might have seen my program with him. Soon as I finished that, I got back into my car and went from the hotel over to Mar-a-Lago. And we had a marvelous evening with some top political leaders and top people who had served in the Trump administration and who have formed this organization now 2 years in the making, called the America First Policy Institute. And this is accomplishing great things for crafting policy for the next Republican administration. So what we had was a reception and a dinner and some speeches and some entertainment. It was, and actually really great. Kellyanne Conway gave a great talk about the strategy regarding abortion in the upcoming elections, intersected with loads of people, lots of networking into the night, and then went back to my hotel later at night. That was Thursday the 16th. Friday the 17th. There at Mar-a-Lago, I had to start out with a couple of things on my emails, approval of some email blasts going out, set up for an interview later in the day, communication with our legal team about our FOIA, which is Freedom of Information Act request of the government, working on things for the end of the year, travel plans for upcoming trips, approval of appeal letters, and approval of a letter going out to foundations, asking support for Priests for Life. After this morning communication, went very early to a prayer breakfast over at a hotel near Mar-a-Lago where the America First Policy Institute was meeting. Was at the prayer breakfast. I was recognized there to the strong affirmation of all the people there who thanked me for my work, attended some of the speeches that were being given and workshops there. Then at 10 a.m., had a meeting with my executive administrative team and our media firm, making plans for upcoming media engagements. When I was finished with that, I went back to networking with the people that were there, former ambassadors, former cabinet members, political leaders of all kinds. And we were having lots of good conversations about the upcoming elections. I sat in on more of the workshops that they were giving throughout the morning and into lunch, a good luncheon there. Alveda King, who's on our team, was there as well. We sat together for lunch, more speeches. And then mid-afternoon, I left the hotel, I left the hotel where the event was taking place, went back about 15 minutes to the hotel where I was staying, because then I had a 4 p.m. interview, taped interview with Dr. Pastor Jim Garlow, well-known and successful evangelical pastor, and Bishop Strickland. So the three of us had a great conversation for about an hour. He recorded it and for broadcast later on. We had a marvelous conversation. As soon as that interview was finished, I went back to Mar-a-Lago, and we had a beautiful evening gala, like 700 people there, and President Trump. So he came and spoke, and I was able to greet just so many people that we work with throughout the year and have worked with over past years. Ralph Reed was there, for example, and many other great people. So that was Friday the 17th. Back to my hotel late at night. Got a good night's sleep. Saturday morning, the 18th, I began by jumping into my car. After having an early breakfast at the hotel and driving back up to Titusville, I listened to some political podcasts and pro-life messages as I was driving. Make good use of that time. About a 2-hour drive back to my office. Got to my office, settled in, looked at some work at my desk, some endorsement letters that I'm finalizing, and plans for an upcoming trip to Washington, D.C. But then I had to jump here into the studio by 10 a.m. for our live scripture reflection broadcast, which I presume many of you follow each day. I did the live scripture, and then I did some more taping of some future programs. At 11:15, I got on the Zoom with our travel coordinator. He was working that day, and we went over some invitations for me and confirmed trips and getting details laid out. After that, I went to a nearby restaurant to get some lunch, and then the rest of the day doing quiet work here in the office, much of it to be done, planning future broadcasts, getting all kinds of material together for presentations and travels, and plans for the end of the year and the beginning of the new year. Went to bed early, actually, was pretty tired at night. Sunday the 19th, what did I do? Here at the office again, got up very early and came in here to the studio, and I had to do hours of taping just because I'll be away for the Thanksgiving holiday and other programs that need to be taped in advance. So I spent several hours of taping scripture reflections and praying for America programs and other such things. Came 10 o'clock, we went on live for the scripture broadcast, the Sunday scripture broadcast, and then I went back to my office and I wrote 3 different articles for publication in different places like Gateway Pundit, Newsmax.com, LifeNews.com. So I wrote those 3 articles, and then at 1:15 came back here in the studio and did a live Newsmax interview. And they wanted me to talk about the Bishop Strickland situation and the phenomenon in the Catholic Church of canceling conservative priests. Did that interview, then went for a late lunch over by a nearby restaurant. Came back, had to do more work at my desk all afternoon, letters of endorsement, what are we doing, section of our website, updating that. And of course, being the Lord's Day, some extra time of prayer and worship and rest for that. And then just went to bed early once again, but got a lot of things in order for the upcoming trips I'll be making and for the end of year planning. So that's what I did. Thursday the 16th to Sunday the 19th, pretty straightforward, pretty full of talking with folks like you and networking with many other great people. That's my daily diary for now. Thanks for following this. Talk to you soon.